Bonjour, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So we're going to be fighting the Americans today. First time in this campaign fighting the US. We got two of these Patrie class pre-dreadnoughts, which are basically the same size as the new, not really dreadnought battleships, the Rene Magritte. Actually, this one being bigger, but that's because of the ship flaw. We got 4 of the Victor Hugo class armored cruisers, recently refit, now with Mark III 10-inch guns, so they should pack a punch. Against us are, let's see, 5 of these Norfolk heavy cruisers, shared design by GHI, and some of these Little Rock class light cruisers that I designed for them, also share designs, and a bunch of torpedo boats and destroyers. So let's go. Well, I got a pretty good feeling about this battle, so yeah, let's just have the cruisers follow the battleships as per usual. If the game will just respond, there we go. Good. Torpedo boats, I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing with you. Why I sent the rest of the torpedo boat, or I left the rest of the torpedo boats in port. I don't think they're gonna be too important when we're fighting a light force like this. Mostly just gonna rely on the guns. And guns, we have a lot of. We have these massive pre-dreadnought battleships here, with all the 6-inch guns you could ever want. And we got a couple of these as well. The not really dreadnought Rene Magritte class. With 10 13.5-inch guns each. That should be able to all fire on a single broadside. With the weird un-echelon kind of layout. And I'm not sure exactly how these cruisers intend to be falling in behind the battleships, but let's just have them figure it out. Let's get these torpedo boats just out of the way, because I think they're kind of blocking the course of the cruisers. Now, northeast, the game tells me. Let's see if that turns out to be correct. Okay, yeah, they're falling in behind now. As intended. No sight of the enemy yet, though. We're being spotted. There they are, and they're splitting. Let's turn this way and try and sail parallel to these two. There's a bunch of ships there as well. And more here. Curious. Anyway, main guns. I guess that the torpedo boat is the only one visible. Okay, we got some more ships visible now. Solferino, you have a target there. Now, whether or not it's a good idea for the AI to split their force like this remains to be seen. But at least it's kind of interesting that they're doing it. We have our first... well, not capital ship, but it's bigger than a DD. Really getting surrounded now. Look on a torp range. And we have to worry about 2.7 on the torpedo boats. The little rocks are 2.9. Destroyer 1.4. All you to focus your secondaries on that guy, but sure. Cruisers. Like so. Let's actually have these torpedo boats come in and provide a wall of torpedoes. I guess towards these destroyers. Because we can outrange them. They only have 1.4 kilometer torps. Oh, Cimarron. Dangerously in range. With the torps. Just barely. We're gonna actually torp her with the cruiser torps. That's a dud though. Torpedo boats. T2. Go for launch. T5, you're next. See if we got this flank under control. T5 is launched. T4. launch as well. This one, I think. McLeod. McCard, excuse me. I got this stuff under control. That's good. Maybe we can just close in and launch at Radford? Perhaps? Torps are striking home. Good to see. Stribling can be your target. Coming into range now. Elliot is almost in range of Solferino. Had these had the same torpedoes as the torpedo boats had, we'd be taking torpedoes right now. No. You are not launching at that one. That would go very, very wrong. But the one target you had sank. So we're just going to turn those torps off. Yeah, launching torps at this one? Yeah, that would hit my battleships. That would be a disaster. There we go, getting good hits on Elliot. And back here, they are low on fuel. That's why we haven't seen the armored cruisers yet. They've fallen way behind. Alright, Hartford is your target. And then get up. Yeah, I think we're good here. Let's reselect some targets. You have a good target. You can target Little Rock. So, and Lena, you can target San Juan. Not all of you. Darn it. I gotta do that all over again. And you also Little Rock, I guess. And Lena, you were the one supposed to be targeting San Juan. Now my armored cruisers, you can have like one light cruiser each. Almost. A lot of them are just named Little Rock SD. That happens sometimes with share designs. But that's fine. Once we're done cleaning up these, we're going to turn around and put the guns to use on these ships, which are not half bad. Like 9 inches of main belt. Granted, there's like not enough citadel belt to do anything, but this ain't bad. Decent armor quality too, and they had Mark II guns, right? Yeah. White powder, TNT-1. So, not that modern, but they're not, like, super outdated either. What kind of armor do these guys have? 4 on the main belt. Yeah, if you would just use AP with those 7-inch guns, that would be very, very useful against those light cruisers. No, actually, these armored cruisers detach you from the battleships. You're now gonna target these light cruisers. I know that's on the opposite side of what you were just doing, but bear with me. Battleships, especially the actually all of you, but also especially the dreadnoughts, you're going to be targeting these. They're currently out of range. That's fine. We're going to get you closer, and the secondary guns can target Little Rock. There's this fresh squadron of destroyers here. See, there we go. That's what we're supposed to be doing to those cruisers. And there, on Hartford. This guy's still afloat. Barely. Actually, not barely. It's in perfect shape, almost. My 6-inch guns out of range. They are. I thought they had better range. There we go, getting some flash fires on their DDs. I can probably find a better shot than that, but that's good enough for now. Actually, let's just do a couple more AP salvos to bring down this guy. Then you can focus everything on the DDs. I was hoping it'd be a little bit more effective. I guess that's a bunch of gun splashes. There we go. Good hits. Do that a couple more times and it's going down. I thought. Yeah, there we go. That should be the end of Hartford. Just in time for these cruisers to start focusing the more immediate threat. There. That should be simple enough. Little Rock keeps sailing. Let's see, can we get some good hits on these sitting ducks? Bring you closer then. Armored cruisers are easily dealing with the destroyers. Seven-inch guns are actually running out of HE on these. So they spent quite a long time firing HE at the light cruisers before I figured out that they were doing that. And ordering them to stop. Closing in on these slowly. Torpedo boats. And what? You have only one torpedo? Oh, you're a different type than the others. 1.3 kilometers. This one, the one with decent torpedoes, and many of them, but it's being held back by these two things that are running out of fuel. I think we might just have to let Little Rock sail its own way, because we can't catch up to it. Norfolk taking some big hits. Actually, they're all called that. Well, 3 of them are. See, there are 5 of them now. When I select the targets, I could only see 4, but of course there are 5. Torpedo boats are getting handled. Armored cruisers are getting handled. More good hits on Norfolk. Well, this one. The 4th in their line. And there we go. To the cove. And the 2nd Norfolk also now taking hits. Let's have these turn this way and cross the T, kind of. if that is at all needed, because now my battleships have gotten a little bit closer. And their accuracy is, well, it's more a thing. It's there. There is accuracy. There. I think that's a decent shot. With all 10 guns fire, well, at least 8 guns firing. There's one turret here. It's not quite joining the party. It seems. It's a little bit off, a few degrees. But that's kind of to be expected with like on echelon turret layouts like that. Very finicky with regards to firing angles. Armored cruisers, you can slow down and you can select one enemy armored cruiser each as your target, and then set the secondaries on these torpedo boats. On that torpedo boat, which actually has the dangerous torpedoes. Not this thing with a one single torp. My battleship secondary guns have joined in. At least the ones from the pre-dreadnoughts. Lena has switched targets on her own. You're not supposed to do that. I think I have a standing order out against selecting your own targets in that manner. Or I should have. In fact, we're better off just turning off those secondaries. Reducing the amount of gun splashes. And one more goes down. Got 2 more left, soon only 1 more left. Yeah, there we go. 1 remaining. And this one light cruiser that is just going its own way. Sold for Reno, if you have range. Which you do, actually. Liberté. You can also switch. I think this thing is getting sunk, even without your help. Keep the secondaries off for now. What kind of armor can we pen with these Mark III 10? Ooh, that's very decent, actually. depend on these. Now this one is going down. Cruisers, you can cease fire. We got 2 battleships focusing this guy, and it's also just sinking. Where did the light cruiser go? Maybe in that smoke screen. If she decides to run, well, I cannot catch up to it. If she decides to hang around at 10 kilometers, that would be a very bad idea for her. Let's see what comes out of the smoke screen at 10 kilometers. Why? It's a light cruiser. And 4 inches. That is just enough to stop my HE. And I think it's not enough to arm my AP. Darn it, that's like a bad combination. That would be my armored cruisers would be much better equipped. Especially with the 7-inch guns. If I had the other type of pre-dreadnought here, with the 7-inch guns, the magenta, they would also be better equipped. I think we're just gonna end it and not waste ammunition, as it has just that amount of armor where it's just gonna soak up everything. But 70,000 victory points is not a bad way to start a war. Now let's see about those Ottomans. So you got that one light cruiser left. Britain is taking back Eastern India. But Britain is also friendly, sort of, at the moment. So, not a big deal. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff just sitting there. Now, United States, with your one light cruiser. It's kind of weird that, I mean, I had my own light cruiser in that port. Why was it not part of the defense? One could wonder. We're going here. Let's meet up. Let's set everything to sea control. Let's see. Are we finally getting oil-fired boilers? Finally. That's a nice thing to have in 4 months. And also, turtleback. So we're getting both at the same time. That's perfect. That's gonna be that's excellent for refit purposes. Mark III 11s. I don't really mess with 11-inch guns in this campaign, so that's like whatever. Mark III 13s though. We're gonna need that. I guess we'd have to get this before Mark III 12s. But wait, I don't really have a lot of 12-inch guns at the moment either, because many of those pre-dreads have been retired. 5-inch guns though, very useful. 7-inch guns, Mark III, very, very useful. I have a lot of those. So I'm guessing once these two are done, I'm going to shift priority to get the Mark 313. We're also going to have to spend a little bit more on transports right now. Yes. Next month. And I just saw the Americans finished construction of the Constellation SD class battlecruiser, which is very, very similar to my own battlecruiser. So, minus 14 with the Ottomans. Minus 13 with the Ottomans. And Little Rock, it comes back for revenge. I shouldn't have let it go, apparently. But at least we're going to sink Juneau. Oh, we have a good chance of sinking it. With Duplay. I should have a firepower advantage. Well, maybe not, because they got Mark 3 6-inch guns. I got Mark 2 7s. I do have more pen than them, though. I also think I have less armor. So maybe this is not a safe matchup. This is basically just armored against the Mark II 6-inch guns that we've mostly been facing on enemy light cruisers up until now. They've taken some damage from those destroyers last month, but it wasn't too serious as we saw. Yeah, they can pen my armor. Well, kind of. I got like 3.7 effective. They have to get closer if they want to reliably penetrate. And they had, what, 5. I'd have to get closer if I want to reliably penetrate. But there we go, got their aft belt at least. And their torps outrange mine too, because I haven't refit mine with the latest torps. At least I'm slightly faster. So I do have some advantage. 33 million. Yeah, this is not an easy matchup at all. Would be if I had those British light cruisers that I thought I had. Ah, there we go. One main belt pen received. They're closing in, but that's that could go both ways. There we go, finally doing some decent damage in return. I could just score a main belt pen. That would be very welcome. There we go. That's what I was after. We take some engine damage though in return. They've launched. No, 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 don't fire HE. AP. That's your job. Easily avoided. Another main belt pen. Good. I think we got you. That's a dangerous opponent, to be sure. Let's close in a little bit again. We were doing some pretty good work at around 3 kilometers. Yeah, this is a more dangerous class than the Little Rock. It's a couple years newer. More main belt pens. I'd love to see some more flooding. And they've launched again. Shit. I saw that one way too late. But that was close. A bit too close for comfort. That was slamming on the brakes. If they'd had these in that previous battle, I would be struggling a lot more because 4.8 kilometer torpedoes, a bit harder to avoid. There we go, my own torps are finally heading out. And not hitting anything. And we're now taking return fire. Engine room damage. Maybe I was a little bit too eager there. I have to add a little bit of angle. And yeah, 2 engines out and that amount of flooding. That's basically a mobility kill for Suchet. Yeah, 2 on the 4.5 belts. I'm not AG penning that. My 3-inch guns can't pen that either. But maybe they can pen like some superstructure, maybe? We got incoming torpedoes again. That will be very hard to avoid when I can barely move. But we pulled it off. Bring that A turret into the game. There we go. We are running out of AP though. 23 rounds left. And they are plugging the holes. And staying outside of my torpedo range. I want to maximize accuracy for the few rounds I have left. 11 rounds left. There we go. 5 rounds left. Two rounds left. Of AP. And we're on to HE. Juneau is still afloat though. But he's no longer firing back. And they're pumping out the water, so they're probably going to start fighting back now. Yeah, the secondaries will open up. We're at 39% crew loss, they are at 32.5. If we're not careful, we're going to have to surrender soon. What kind of turret armor did he have? 4 inches. Oh, we knocked out one, it seems. And there, we're knocking out their torps. But they've knocked out some of ours as well. If I had more AP, I think I would have gotten them. They've got plenty of ammunition. Ooh. Playing on this high game speed is dangerous. That torpedo almost hit me, but I was very lucky. It changed course. And we lost another secondary gun. And more crew loss. That's not good. This might end up with Suchet scuttling due to crew loss. Which would not be a good ending. How fast are you going now? 3.1 knots. Why is that? It's just a white square. Oh, we're going 3.1 knots, so we're just as slow, basically. I was hoping maybe I could lure them to fire their last torpedo, dodge it, and then at close enough to launch two of my own at a range of which they can't dodge. But that's very risky, though. Because we're taking hits from those darn 6-inch guns that'll open up again. And they could load AP if they wanted to. They got plenty. Yeah, now they're kiting away. We cannot catch up to them because they're just barely faster. So, I'm gonna try to just turn around again and limp away. I think that's my best bet, really. Stern launcher is also gone. So many of my underwater launchers are also gone. And there goes my last torpedoes. Sure if they want to let me go. If I turn my stern towards them, I start taking a bunch of damage. My main belt is no longer protecting me. But we seem to be gaining distance. And we're about to exit their range. And there we go. Got out alive, but just barely. Now that's a draw. I concede that as a draw. So, we're gonna have to send something out to deal with that darn light cruiser. Let's see, where did my light cruiser end up? Back here? Yeah. Suchet. I got one more of the same class. We could also just go, no, that's enough of that, thank you. Send out an armored cruiser. Yeah, Britain is taking back Eastern India. Good for them. We also need to deal with that light cruiser. These ships are going back to Shanghai. Can Lavoisier deal with Little Rock? I think so. Little Rock is not a Juneau class. So we could beat it in a one-on-one light cruiser fight. I got 3 months left for semi-oil and turtleback, which will be some very good upgrades to many of our ships. Sadly, we're not going to be able to upgrade them all at the same time. Especially not with so many ships being under construction. And now also one very, very damaged light cruiser being repaired. Suchet. But that's it for now. At least we got a decent look at what some of these American ships can do. See, what do they have now? That new battlecruiser is not in service yet, but that's still a pretty scary navy. Britain has 2 battlecruisers now and 6 battleships, and these, I'm pretty sure, are all dreadnoughts. So, yeah, I'm assuming many of the American battleships in service are also dreadnoughts. But also that many of them are still pre-dreadnoughts. But which is which? That is not easy to say until we actually engage them. Abukir SD. Which is that again? I made so many share designs I forget which is which. Yeah, Constellation SD. Indiana, that's also probably a dreadnought, since it's just been finished now. Utah HBIW. That's a dreadnought, 1908 design. It's current. Milford SD. I don't remember what that is, but it's probably pretty decent. That's it for now. Goodbye, and take care.